Oh, hello. Oh, too loud. Mic check. You guys can hear me? All right. So, there comes a time in everyone's life when they meet their soulmate, the one person that they love for the rest of their lives. And that moment came for Anshu 23 years ago when he met me. Of course. So I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Sohail Merchant, and although I'm not Anshu's biological brother, I've never actually seen a difference. To be asked by Anshu to be his best man today is truly an honor. And we all know why we're here, what this amazing occasion is, right? Open bar. Open bar. I'm just kidding. I do, however, want to thank Ambika's family and Anshu's family for making this event truly perfect. I also want to thank all the guests that have come from all over the world. I've met people from India, from London, from Toronto, a bunch of her cousins, Rochester. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Of course, Florida, that's my home, you know. So I definitely want to thank you all. I want to ask Ambika if you would briefly stand for a moment, because I just want us to all soak in. Thank you. I just want us to all soak in how incredibly beautiful she looks tonight. Thank you, Ambika. Anshu, thanks for coming. Anshu and I met because our mothers were friends. And at the time, my mom was a hairstylist and she had her salon in our apartment. It was very Indian of us. So one day I come out of my room and I'm playing with my yo-yo and I see Anshu sitting on my table doing math homework. Of course, his dad's an accountant, his sister's an accountant. Of course, he's doing math homework on my table. Somehow I managed to convince him to go play basketball, and that was the beginning of our lifelong friendship. So, I know you guys are waiting for food, so I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Okay. So though we were separated for a few years, we eventually rekindled our friendship in high school. And I was not the best student. I was kind of a troublemaker. I kept getting into trouble. But guess who had my back? Anshu. I remember a time specifically when we had a substitute teacher in our math class, and I kind of mouthed off to him. I was kind of very disrespectful. The dean came the next day. He talked to all the students from our class, and Anshu, through his wit and his savvy, managed to convince the dean that actually it was the substitute teacher who was talking back to me. I don't know how he did that. So after that, I heard that Anshu was coming to Florida State University, which was my university. I got a bunch of Florida State Seminoles over here. So I was determined, it was my mission to make sure that I showed him a true Florida State time. So he came, he visited, we had a great time. But the harder part were his parents, because most people come into the dorms in their freshman year. So I had a hard job. I had to convince his mom and his dad to live with me in his first year, which is a smart idea, real smart. Now, if you want more college stories, come to me after. I'm censored from here on out. I will say that Anshu, although he is a physician, his mind is constantly moving. He is extremely business-oriented. In fact, I don't know anyone who knows numbers better than him, except for Sonia, of course, and his dad, of course, but literally no one. And I want to also say, if you don't know, you should know. Anshu is insanely passionate about sports, particularly football and basketball. And I say insanely passionate And these guys know, he is insanely passionate because one time, I sat in a spot on our couch, and the Orlando Magic were playing in a playoff game. I got up to go use the bathroom. They missed every single three-pointer after that, and then they lost the game. Anshu blamed that entire game on me. It was my fault. It was literally my fault that they lost. Not like the Orlando Magic were bad. It was because of me. I accepted it. Whatever, he's my brother. So, yes, insanely passionate. Absolutely true for him. So, I will also say, Anshu is the type of person that if you're having a bad day, he's the type of person who will always find a silver lining to whatever you're doing. And Ambika can attest, any of these guys can attest. Anshu will always find the silver lining to whatever bad situation you're in. And that's something I'm truly grateful for, so thank you. Because you've helped me through a lot of bad situations and always shown me the light. Alright, one thing you gotta know about Anshu, he's an extremely talkative person. Very talkative. Anyone who's ever talked to him, they know. He can go for hours, literally hours. I remember I went to the grocery store. I had him on the phone. I went to the grocery store, came back home, emptied my entire car full of groceries. I had the phone sitting on the couch the entire time. I came back, he was still talking. I literally couldn't even believe it. He was still talking. He eventually caught on that I kept doing that. He eventually caught on. So then he was like, are you there? Are you there? So I couldn't do that anymore. But anyways, I do want to finish this speech with a little history. It took me some time to convince Anshu to get on a dating app. I did manage to convince him to do it. I also managed to help him put together his profile, which his sister still criticizes me about. But something must have gone right because he met Ambika. So, you know, something happened there, something good. And I always remember, wait, you can clap after this. I always remember, he met Ambika, and then about 2 weeks after I called Shu, that's his nickname to all of us. Shu, how did things go with Ambika? How was everything? You know, how was your first date? And he's like, in this very deep voice, bro, amazing. I love her. She's so good. I want to marry her. I'm like, dude, it's been 2 weeks. Have your first fight at least. You know, like, just, you know, I'm trying to be cautious for him. You know, watch his blind spot, you know. But you know how love is, of course, is blinding. So, but I knew that I had never heard Anshu talk about anyone like that in my entire life, ever. So I knew that there was something there was a spark there. So I believed it, I trusted it. Anyways, I was really curious, why does he like Ambika so much? Like, what is it about her? I found out. Last year, he called me on my birthday. He was like, bro, happy birthday. I didn't need Facebook to remind me. I'm calling you. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. I found out she has the same birthday as me, and that's the only reason he remembered. So, I also realized she's a Gemini, so am I. So no wonder they have fantastic chemistry. You know, it just makes sense. So, anyways, Anshu, I'm blessed to have you as my brother. You are the most loyal friend I have, most trustworthy person in my life, and I truly, truly appreciate you. And I'm also happy to welcome Ambika into our family, of course. Or, you know, maybe I'm part of yours, I don't know. But I do want to leave you with some last wisdoms that my mom has always shared with me. My mom has always shared with me. Okay? So pay attention. Behind every smart man is always a smarter woman. Okay? And in the words of my big fat Greek wedding, the man is the head, but the woman is the neck, and she can always control the direction of the head. All right? I hope you know that. So, last note, happy belated birthday, Umpika. Thank you to family, friends, and staff for all making this an amazingly perfect event. And to love, to laughter, and to a happy ever after. Congratulations.